As the day Gradia drew closer, they recognized the vessel, the Mary Celeste. It had left New York weeks earlier, bound for Genoa, Italy, under the command of Captain Benjamin Briggs. Briggs was an experienced seaman known for his prudence, sailing with his wife, his young daughter, and a capable crew of 7. Captain David Morehouse of the day, Gradia sent a small boarding party, led by his first mate, Oliver Devoe. What Devoe found inside the Mary Celeste would secure the ship's fate as the greatest maritime mystery in history. The crew was gone. Every single person had vanished. The ship was a ghost, yet it was anything but plundered. All of the valuable cargo, over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, was safely stowed in the hold, completely undisturbed. The captain's cabin showed no signs of struggle. His sewing machine and the children's toys lay untouched. There were only 3 notable items missing: the lifeboat, the ship's sextant, and the marine chronometer. The crew had clearly abandoned ship in a hurry, taking only the essentials for navigation and escape. The ship's logbook was missing its final page, and the only clock on board had stopped running. Most disturbing of all were the signs of a recent, orderly existence. Food was neatly prepared in the galley. Dishes sat ready to be washed, and the last entry in the logbook was made just 10 days prior. Everything pointed to a planned but incredibly hasty and forced evacuation. The final, chilling entry in the log simply read, "All well aboard." While there was no blood anywhere, one sword, belonging to the captain, was found unsheathed in the cabin. There were slight stains on the blade that some described as blood, though forensic analysis at the time was inconclusive. It was the only sign of disorder on the entire ship. The vessel was towed to Gibraltar, where an Admiralty court investigation was launched. The court, baffled by the perfect state of the ship, initially suspected a maritime felony, that the crew of the Dei Gradia had somehow conspired to murder the Mary Celeste crew for salvage money. This theory was eventually rejected due to lack of evidence. The investigation shifted to the cargo. The explosion theory suggests that the alcohol barrels were leaking. Fumes could have built up and caused a minor explosion, leading Captain Briggs to fear a catastrophic blast. He ordered the lifeboat deployed as a precaution, believing he could reboard after the fumes dispersed. This leads to the most common belief, but the lifeboat was launched and tethered to the Mary Celeste, waiting out the perceived danger. Then, a sudden squall or large wave broke the rope, separating the small boat from the safety of the large ship, adrift with limited supplies. The 10 people would have perished quickly in the open sea. However, the absence of the sextant suggests Briggs may have intended to sail the lifeboat to the nearest land. The mystery of what triggered the initial panic remains open to darker theories: mutiny among the crew, a sudden attack by pirates, or even a terrifying encounter with a massive sea creature, supported by the fact that the ship's railing was found broken and damaged. The Mary Celeste was eventually sold and returned to service, but she carried the curse of her mystery. She was lost at sea 12 years later. Today, she remains the quintessential ghost ship, a perfectly preserved, yet tragically empty vessel. For mystery is a solemn reminder that even the strongest evidence can sometimes fail to tell the whole story. What force do you think drove 10 people into the terrifying vastness of the Atlantic? Let us know in the comments below.